Alright guys, just rolling in here to Lumberman's Monument where we're getting ready to have the 2018 Michigan Bushcraft Spring Gathering. Here we go. Alright, ready? I'm going to try something. 1, 2, 3, done. Well, now that camp's set up, I have the daunting task of carrying this kayak down a few fleet of stairs to the water so I can go use it in the morning. Here we go. So just so you guys can see how crazy I am carrying this down. Stairs, 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 island, beauty. Carrying it up is what's going to suck tomorrow. And going, and going, and going, and going. Absolutely beautiful. So this is Cook Pond. We're at Lumberman's Monument in Oscoda for the 2018 Spring Michigan Bushcraft Gathering. You can see Charlie's camp way out there. I don't think this is going to pick it up. Beautiful. Let's see if we can. There we go. Beautiful sunset. Let's go see the monument over here. Whew, uphill's way worse than down with a kayak. It's the monument here at the Lumberman's Monument. Manly group of gentlemen there. Beautiful scenery in the background. It says, erected to perpetuate the memory of the pioneer lumbermen of Michigan, through whose labors was made possible the development of the Prairie States. It's cool. Some of the displays here. It talks about how, you know, being a lumberman was a hell of a job, and one of the only things you really had to look forward to was some good hearty food. Bushcrafters wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Looks like there's a few other educational buildings, but they're not open. I don't know if they run while we're here, but I think they don't open for a couple more months. Well, just got done sitting at the campfire. I want to get up in the morning and hit the kayak. I might build my GoPro rig here before I go to sleep, but I'm going to turn in for the night, and we'll see you in the morning for the presentation portion of the Bushcraft USA, or Michigan Bushcraft Spring Gathering. Here we go. Looking at you, right there. It's hard not to look at myself all the time. I mean, come on. It's hard not to look at myself all the time. Well, you can tell I just rolled out of bed, but good morning. Poor Tim's over here doing the fire. I got the GoPro ready. Let's go get in that kayak. The audio is really bad on the iPhone because I have the on the GoPro because I have the waterproof cover on, so hopefully it's beautiful, but I can't say you'll hear anything, which probably is for the best. But back to the water. Anybody home? Guess no one's home. I don't see boats in the water. Well, I was hoping to make it to shore, but that didn't happen, so brought water shoes. Just means the socks are going to be sacrificed, so I guess it's time to get out and pull us in. Well, obviously back up from the water there, which caught some GoPro of me fishing and caught a nice, maybe 14, 15-inch pike, some eggs, and buffalo chicken there. Keto friendly. Alright, just cooking off the last bit of the getting eggs cooked up, mix it all together with the chicken. I call it double spicy chicken, not because it's double spicy, because it's double chicken. Chicken breast and eggs with some Frank's Red Hot.
Now you guys are woodsmen or whatever your group represents, and one of the traps I brung is a survivalist type trap. I didn't bring a snare because basically other than for coyotes and beaver under the ice, it's illegal in Michigan. But if I were going to pick one trap, it'd be this little 110, because this little 110 could be set in a muskrat bowl. It could be set in a trail for rabbits. So if you wanted ever a survivalist type thing, to have one of these.
What's like the success rate on those?
Success rate?
Like no, on like the coon trap, like the paw hole trap, like
The paw hole trap?
Yeah.
One time I set 12 of those traps on my property and I caught 11 coons.
really.
Yeah.
So they're that.
That was also
they're really
nicknamed
going
Cooney in high school, you know what I mean?
You hit the gas line. You hear the hissing, that's the sound.
Yeah, I get the bubble.
Oh, that's not fair. So this is called the body grip trap. This trap is set in trails. You ever see little trails going through the woods to your gardens or along the creeks? And it's designed in the fur industry for muskrat and mink. Perfect size for that, and it dispatches them. This could also be set by gopher holes or small skunk or muskrat dens. Any place they're forced to follow a trail to come out, they hit this little trigger there. You really got to be careful setting traps. That's why I brought these are little traps. These really sting on the fingers. But they hit that trigger and it sets it off. Okay, there's a badger.
Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Parcell of Parcell Artisan Works. You can wave to him.
He's faster than I am. Well, good morning, guys. My name is Tim Parcell. I'm from Alpena, one of the other local boys. For the last 3 years, I have been traipsing down the path of carving my own axe handles, learning how to restore axes, and that's a whole other can of worms doing that. But today, I'm going to show you guys at least part of a process for carving your own handle. Unless there's a big old knot in it, that'll change things. Once it's started, take another wedge and you just work it a little bit further down. So, what you do is you start by making step cuts, and with a hewing hatchet like this, it will actually bust the chips out if I go deep enough and close enough to the previous cut. So, it looks like this. I'm close! And then, once you've started some of these to clean it up, you can just go straight down. And clean it like so. Rinse, repeat. What we've got here, real close, that's looking real close to a piece of wood, or board. Something this size, if I were to clean this part out a little bit so it's even on both ends, just flatten that out, you could run that through a bandsaw. So, what I've done here is the actual head is only about that big, okay? But what I've done is I've extended the shoulder out because I want meat there. Because if you take too much out of this, there is no way to put it back on to fit a head. Exhibit A. When you do this, and you get to this point, you want to leave this fat so it gives you room to adjust and to fit the head properly. See, I told you it's an axe handle. So what we would do from this point is we'd go back to the hatchet and we would carve all this waste as much as you could off of the front and back, and then you'd end up with a really big billet. See, aren't I good? Look at that, it fits! Right size and everything. Where's my phone? There it is. So you'll gently tap this until you get it real close, and then I tend to give it 1 or 2 really good whacks. So this one's already been set. I know it will work. So, okay. So now that head is on, and you can actually see a little bit where it's peeling up the wood, right where it meets the head. Okay. A hatchet. This one, I was so proud of myself. Hour and 10 minutes. I was in a hurry. Normally I would go a little bit slower, and normally there's some kind of green run out from not. And stuff over to the side. You guys want to come over, take a look at it, do some show and tell, get a feel for these handles, look at some of these tools, ask some more questions. We'll be here all day. And yeah, thanks for sticking around, guys.
Tim draws the crowd.
Oh yeah, buy some stuff for me.
Ladies, one more time for Tim Parcell. And folks, he's got a table at the back. Everything from treatments for the axe handles, all sorts of axes available. His table's right at the back. Feel free to peruse at your leisure.
Do I get to draw again?
You're standing there, yeah. Please. All right, we got 2 giveaways in between.
So anyway, if you guys want to take a shot at it, I got 2 different types of atlatls here, the one I'm using, and I have this one for guys like you. And what makes this one nice is that when you hold it, you don't have to worry about holding on to the spear, because that is kind of a knack for everybody. It sits right there in its own rest. And I haven't tried this out, so you, son, are going to be the first one to give this a test drive today and see how it works.
All right.
But, all right? So, now remember, don't feel bad if you miss. Don't feel bad if you don't do good. Don't feel bad because not everybody in the tribe was a hunter. And that's okay. All right, you ready? Come on up here with me.
You can do the butcher.
Just go ahead and get a good grip on it.
All right.
Right down there. Choke up on it. All right? And then get the hook in the back. Just like that. And we rest it in there. All right? Now, just got to hang on to this, okay? Nope, you don't need to hang on to that. It's going to sit there. Just hold on to that as tight as you can. Throw it like a baseball. But hold on to the spear thrower.
All right. Woo!
Not bad. I have a Native American firefighter crew, and he had made one out of stick, and when he was throwing his out there, he was really nice with it. You know, but it was only just a little twig. You know? Oh, That's a good start. Now remember, hey, commonly, girls throw these better than guys. Guys. Well, we want to stand up there as guys, and we were like, we're not going to kill that buffalo. We're going to kill that buffalo forever. And we want to haunt it, you know. And a young woman said, "You're a little girl."
Oh, that was a good one. All right. Just grazed the back.
And she's like, all right, walk. Right? That's power. All right? We go get the spears here and we'll do it again. All right? Oh, never walk out the roof. Yeah. Safety.
Whoa.
Nice throw. We have first. All right.
Grayson, you do this?
Oh, yeah.
Stay left.
Why is that the one that we call?
There's a good one. While I'm on lunch, went to get some water. I saw Jim, also Ivy on Bushcraft USA's site. He's got himself a nice bank line here. He's got his tarp shelter going up, kind of like a modified burrito shelter, and then tarp at the end to enclose it. Nice. Oh yeah, sleeping on your winged reflectix, just like you said.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Monument. It was erected in 1932, and it was put up to show appreciation for the lumbermen that cut down the trees in the area and helped build up the different cities through the buildings they built with all the wood that they cut down. Here in Michigan was started just pretty soon after the Civil War, about 1866 or so. And what they would do is they would send people that were called timber cruisers into an area to look for land that had lots of white pine on it that was good for lumbering, and decide which tracts of land that they should buy, and they would buy them in 50 acres. The man in the middle on the monument is a timber cruiser. So you can see him there holding his iPhone, getting the directions of where he's going to go. Kind of looks that way, right? But obviously built in 1932, he's not holding an iPhone, and he would have actually been working in the late 1800s. It is a compass that he's holding, but it confuses a lot of kids when they come up here and think they see this guy holding a phone. Demonstrators here to show you how it's done. This is the type of saw that they use. They did come in different sizes, and it's a two-man saw, so you have to take turns pulling. You don't push when you use the crosscut saw, otherwise you just bend the saw and it binds. And we do this here to let people experience using the crosscut saw. Obviously the loggers would cut much bigger trees with the saw and would do it all day long. So if you get tired after cutting one little cookie off here, you probably wouldn't make a very good logger.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't already know, Melissa Miller. Melissa, take it away. Thank you.
But my name is Melissa Miller. I am most well known for being on Discovery Channel's Naked and Afraid. Raise your hand if you have heard of the show or at least seen an episode of Naked and Afraid. Okay, so raise your hand if you haven't. If you're like, I have no clue what that is. Okay. So I'll get into that. I'll get into that in a second. So I'm gonna mainly kind of talk about, I guess, my experience on Naked and Afraid, and I'll give you like a real quick premise for those of you who don't know. Naked and Afraid was a show that it's been running since 2013. It was made by Discovery Channel, and it was meant to be basically the most primitive of survival challenges. And I actually have some photos that I want to show you guys at the end of this to show you why the nudity makes it so hard, because it did some serious damage to my body. Not having shoes, clothing is the #1 shelter for sunburn. It's the #1 shelter from bug bites, from coldness. Clothing is huge, and that's why the show strips you of that, because you are set out there with nothing. So I want everyone just to take one quick second, and I want you just to kind of look out here, and I want you to look at something that you could use in a survival situation. And raise your hand if you see something that you could use in a survival situation. Right here, what do you see?
Smaller trees for shelter building.
Smaller trees for shelter building, absolutely. What about another thing that you see for?
Dry leaves for insulation.
Dry leaves for insulation, yes. So a big part of survival is you don't always have the materials you think you're gonna have, but it's looking at what you have and understanding how you can use it. When I have a problem in a survival situation and I need something, I go, what do I need and how can I make it with what I have? And you can make, you know, looking out here, yes, I see insulation for leaves or for shelter. I see pine trees, one of the best survival trees in the world. For those of you who don't know, pine trees are amazing fire burners. You can use the pine needles for kindling. You can use the resin on a pine tree for long burning kindling. It's actually waterproof burning kindling. The pine sap, you can actually use it as a natural antiseptic on wounds. The Native Americans did that. I see pine trees, and you can even make pine needle tree or pine needle tea, which has much more vitamin C than a glass of orange juice, and a lot of other antioxidant properties. So it's about looking around and just kind of figuring out what you can use, and that is one thing I had to do when I was put out there. I knew that when I was in this jungle, it was like 90% humidity, so I knew it was going to be hot, and I was looking at all the vines and just trying to figure out how I could utilize these materials to survive in this environment. So our items, when you go out there, you don't have any clothes. Your only piece of clothing is the infamous Naked and Afraid bag. So this is what you get. You get a bag, and you get one item. So his item was his knife. My item was my fishing line. I was like, okay, Amazon, I'm gonna go do some fishing. And they provided us with a fire starter because a bow drill fire out there would be impossible. I don't care who you are. All the wood there's wet. If you've heard your body can go in an extreme situation, your body can last 3 days without water in an extreme situation. So once you get past that 3rd day, that's when things are gonna get messed up. 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. So food is definitely something. Food is, you could go 21 days without food. We ate pretty well out there. Around day 4, I found these spiny palms. They're like these little coconuts in the soil. I ate those every day. I would gather those in my bag, and those helped. We did not have any real protein till around day 7. They didn't show this on the show, but we've got a peacock bass. He was wounded in a channel, so what I did is I just blocked off the channel and funneled it to where he had to swim kind of right to me, got him, put him out of the water. And we ate a peacock bass, which was amazing tasting. It tastes kind of like a fattier version almost of salmon. And that was so good to taste. Nothing tastes better than your first protein after 7 days. This one's really, they're gross. So when I got back to the hotel, I was like, you know what, I need to document what happened to me out there. I need to take some pictures because some people try to say this show is fake, and it's not, it's real. It does real damage. So I'll start off with the stuff that's not as gross. I'll start off with my hands. I didn't have fingerprints returning. So I'm just gonna kind of walk around. You'll notice some fungus that was in my nail on my index finger. You also might notice a thorn that became embedded in my middle finger. So feet. I said a big thing out there was not having shoes. That makes it really hard because people don't realize how many thorns you get on this challenge. I had hundreds and hundreds of thorns embedded themselves in the bottom of my feet because one of my main food sources was spiny palm. It's kind of, I was like debating when I was trying this, it's really gross. Okay, so this one, I took a scribble marker and it's my rear end, okay? But I scribbled down my rear end, and it is not sexy at all. It's my butt because I didn't really have a butt when I got extracted. But, so these were some of the cyst infected bug bites that I had all on my butt. And I had them on the underside. One of the pictures got cut off right here, but I had it like littered these right here. You can't really see that because it's missing a lot, but I had those littered on the side. And these were like mosquito bites that got super infected. I actually had to have like 3 different extractions. So weight loss. Even though we ate pretty much every day, you're working. You're spending 2 to 3 hours a day just collecting firewood. It takes you 20 minutes to go get water. We have to walk all the way down to get water. You're burning calories constantly. So even if you're eating, you like end up losing a lot of weight. I lost. I went in with pretty little. I went in actually about how I am now, and I lost about 20 pounds. And I looked really emaciated after it. I drew. This is funny. This photo I drew like a bikini. But I had like bones popping out. I'm like, so if you think Naked and Afraid's not real, like this is what my body looked like after. I was completely starving. And it was really hard for me to look at myself in the mirror for the first time after the challenge and see myself like this, because you don't have a mirror. And then I stepped in it and I was like, oh my gosh, my jaw dropped to the floor when I saw my body.
Chance to change your item that you brought with you on either season, would you have picked something else?
No, I was very happy with, I wish I would have brought a bigger knife to Africa, but that's it. I was really happy with my bow and my fishing line. They fed me very well throughout both my challenges. So,
ladies and gentlemen,
yes, thank you guys
give it
so
up
much.
for Melissa Miller.
All right, who here has ever used an axe? Raise your hand. All right, anybody ever get hurt? You want to be able to sharpen, same thing with knives, you want to be able to sharpen these tools with keeping yourself safe, not cutting your fingers. So I like to hold an axe just like this, where I can sit there and I can look at this bevel. I can stand there and look right at the bevel, and I can set that stone on there, and these thick tucks like this, you can keep your fingers off the edge. And I can sit there and just round movements like this, and I can tell where I'm hitting on that cutting edge. I can also look on the edge and look for where it's shining, where it's starting to shine, and I know I'm hitting the edge. So I'll flip this thing back this way, and I can sit there. This size log here is a little larger. For anything this size and bigger, I do the V cut. And I spread my legs, and now this log here is my safety log. If I blow right through this thing, my axe is going to get stuck in here. So now I can sit here and I can come through and chop a V and come through this way and start working through this branch. So well, I kind of don't like it. It's kind of bounces around a little bit. It's not bad. Sometimes this is what you have to do. So now what I do is try to cut that V halfway through and then spin it over their side. Avoid it foul through. And sometimes you might blow through it, but otherwise it's just a quick break cut like that, and you're good to go. So that's kind of your 45-degree angles. Something like this, you can score something like this. I just chopped straight up, just round and corner. Broke it off. There you go. That's score. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Blue from Mycology to teach you about wild edibles here in Michigan. Take it away.
Thank you so much for coming out. I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to, just in case I mess up really bad. It's my first time ever publicly speaking or teaching about edibles, so I have notes that I probably will be pretty stuck to until I get used to doing this. So,
You're doing great.
Foraging again is to hunt or search widely for food or provisions. And it's not always, I say provisions because it's not always about what you can eat, but believe it or not, things that you forage for in the woods are used as medicinals, highly used as medicinals more than edibles. This is morel season, so we tend to really concentrate on edibles right now, or even just as a beginner, you'll concentrate on edibles because it's just so exciting to go out and find something you can take home and prepare and eat or feed to your family. And speaking of field guides, there are so many ways that you can get your hands on field guides at bookstores, online, at thrift stores. I found so many at thrift stores, I couldn't believe it. And it makes me mad because I wonder how many over the years I've passed up. But up here, if you guys want to take a look, I did bring a few. I started with mushrooms, so I have primarily mushroom books. but I do have a few field guides for mushrooms, a few for foraging. They're really good foraging books that have pictures and good explanations and things like that. So even if you want to just find something that you'd like to look for over the weekend, go ahead and take a look at the books. I have a couple of children's books there just to get them interested. Things just to get, just get them interested in going out and searching. You could read them to them and then get out there together and look for.
So excluding your mushroom guides, what's your favorite field guide for?
My favorite field guide, and my husband jokes with me about this. He's like, I swear to God, if the first line of this book says the joy of foraging, it's going in the trash. It's called the joy of foraging. And I'm like, as I'm opening, I'm like, please don't say the joy of foraging. Please don't say the joy of foraging. So the first lines are not the joy of foraging, but and this book doesn't look much like it's been touched, but the last 2 months it's been fondled. Okay, my name is Blue. I'm mycology, for Michigan. .cology on Instagram if anybody wants to follow me. I just went public. I've been private for 2 years and I'm nervously going public to see what happens. So hopefully you see me next year and I see you.
Woo. All right. Thanks, you guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Charlie.
And that concludes the entertainment portion of the event. Man, it's beautiful, but this sucks. Carrying this up all those stairs. Whew. Hard work, but totally worth it. That's all I got left to go. I won't die, probably. At the top. There we go. Beautiful. So, this plus keto has got to be good. If you're still watching, thanks for hanging in there. It's almost done. It's a grill on a grill, cooking bacon.
Well, the other one grill, I understand.
Grillception.
Yeah, that's double grill action right there, making some bacon.
Yeah, I didn't think
so.
Double.
Scrambled eggs, bacon, and avocado. That's what's up.
There you go.
Well, per usual, I'm walking around at night. But one of the things that's awesome about this trip, compared to a lot of the trips I go on, bam, there's potable water. I don't have to work for it. That's great. So I'm in, count me in.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on to him.
There's the man.
I have my moments.
My hands were numb from cooking all these years.
I was drinking my coffee. I still got my glove on.
Yeah.
Before the surgery.
So I wish I would have recorded it yesterday, but my man roasted his own coffee beans. And I don't take my coffee black, and I can't have sugar and cream because of the keto, but today we're going to make an exception. There we go. Well, camp's all packed up. Getting ready to head out. Thanks for watching F&D Outdoors. Subscribe right there and tune in for next time. And hopefully I can get this video short enough that you guys don't all turn it off. Say goodbye to Lumberman's Monument.
So, anyways, with this here,
It's usually above your fault.
this front
I know, I
edge
put it
lines up with
down.
that eye.
It's 7:36.
And what I was saying
no,
is you do not want to remove material from the front of this, because what will happen
Lose your
Yeah.
alignment.
is you will chop away that front section of your handle.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
is it a deal breaker? No, it won't.
Oh, I gotta
It
leave
won't
tonight
fuck
too.
up the handle. But if you're trying to get the absolute best fit you can, you do not want to remove that piece because it is room for it to wiggle.
Right.
What?
A lot of times you can take a
don't have
wedge,
to drive as far,
and when
so.
you set that curve and stuff, you can
many
kind
hours
of
do you
fill
have?
it, but it's not the same as
Three,
having
okay.
to meet
From Eaton Rapids? I guess so, yeah.
What I always do is when I'm
Two-
roughing these out, I
245.
always make these sections fatter on the backside. So even if that head is only that deep, Wow, that was pretty close.
That was pretty good.
Even if the head is only that deep, I want all this material in the back. So if for some reason I kind of take a little bit off for whatever reason, I have stuff in the back to continue to fill that eye.
Okay.
But if I want this to be straight, which is how it is on this one, you can actually see.